been participating in the conference. Let's head back there now. We do understand Paul Mashatile speaking.
Comrade, just to remind you that on the 18th of July, we celebrate Nelson Mandela Day. And as you know, on that day, we go out, work with communities, clean our townships, fix the roads, paint our schools. Please, let's prepare to ensure that this is going to become one of our important programs this month. In the spirit of Nelson Mandela, the founding father of our democracy, let us assist those who are destitute, those who are most downtrodden. Long live the spirit of Nelson Mandela, long live. Phela kunaphakade, Nelson Mandela, phela kunaphakade. Lastly, comrades, let me take this opportunity to wish the newly elected leadership success in the coming years. Let us focus on renewing the ANC, create jobs for our people, and always work with the people. Listen to their cries, listen to their proposals to transform our country, to bring about a better life to all our people. I want to say to the leadership of Gauteng, please work hard. We have confidence in all of you. In news. Please remember, comrades, unity is our only way. Unity is our only way. Because if we do so, we will never fall. We can only succeed. Viva the ANC in Gauteng, viva! Hai hule ANC in Gauteng, hai hule! Hai tie ANC in Gauteng, hai tie! Mata! Mata! All power! All power! Comrades, all the best. I think this has been one of the most successful conferences. Thank you very much.
Thanks, comrades. Thanks, comrades. Be seated. Thank you. Thanks, comrades. Thanks. Amandla. Comrades, we are ready now to table our declaration, comrades. I'll call upon our provincial secretary, Comrade TK, to take us through the declaration.
Amandla, away two. Viva ANC, viva! Viva ANC, viva! Unity, makawan, yekesha. Usiti unity, maqaban ngexesha usithi phakama uphakama ANC ixesha usithi phakama uphakama ANC ixesha usithi yonete maqaba ngexesha mandla awethu. Greetings to the Treasurer General of the ANC, Comrade Paul Mashatile. Greetings to the newly elected chairperson, brand new from the box, Comrade Panyaza Lusufi, and the entire top 5 of the ANC. Natis Konapo, no Comrade Noman, Comrade Tasnim, and Comrade Mragan. Greetings to the delegates of the ANC, coming from all branches of the ANC. Yanubulisa Makabana Gatama. Greetings to the alliance partners of the ANC, COSATU, SACP. This, comrades, is the declaration of the African National Congress of the 10th of July. The African National Congress in Gauteng met on the 9th and the 10th of July 2022 to continue with the work of the 14th Provincial Conference, which was held on the 23rd and to the 26th of June 2022 in Ekurhuleni, Lakeside, Benoni. The conference met under the theme Resuscitating the Vision of Freedom Charter in the Year of Unity and Renewal to defend and advance the South African democratic gains. The conference was attended by 1,022 voting delegates. It was also attended by 158 non-voting delegates. As per the accepted practice, the conference was also attended by the ANC alliance partners, which is COSATU and the SACP. In our inclusive approach and the building of social compact, the conference was attended by religious fraternity, business, and other civil society organizations. The conference was characterized by the spirit of robustness, engagements in debates, in plenary and in commissions. The delegates discussed freely in the true traditions of the African National Congress. This was undertaken with a sense of responsibility, respect, and discipline. The conference also called upon the delegates of branches to uphold this experience and maintain it as they build strong branches and engage on the challenges facing our people. The conference received an address from the chairperson of the African National Congress, Comrade Mantashe. In his address, the chairperson emphasized the need for the ANC to take stock on the electoral challenges and called on all the delegates to approach the conference with seriousness that it deserves, warning the conference about the dangers of disunity and factionalism. The conference also received a political report from the former chairperson, Comrade David Makura. In his address, he covers various challenges faced by the ANC and highlighted delegates to the need to keep a close relationship with our people. In his report, he took stock of the extensive work done by government in the province and served as mechanism to report and account on the achievements and challenges that the provincial government faces. He drew the attention of conference to the key developments in the world, which he refers to as megatrends. Amongst these world crises is inequality, climate change in governments, and the challenges of neoliberalism. He further called for the affirmation of the role of the state, whose centrality is extended by multi-challenges that the world is faced with today. Conference received an organizational report from the Provincial Secretary, Comrade Jacob Cow. Whilst the organization faced setbacks as far as 2021 local government elections, the organization has been functional and stable. The ANC was able to discharge its responsibility. However, there is a need to strengthen its relationship with the people of our Gauteng. The organization must oversee and shape the work of government and keep employees accountable. The conference also received the Treasurer's report from Comrade Pakstow. That report painted a picture of an organization that is financial healthy, and that has financial administration that is consistent with global account standards. It received unqualified audit opinions for 4 years since the 13th Provincial Conference. The conference elected new provincial official office bearers, which is Comrade Panyaza Musufi as the chairperson of the province, Comrade Noman Turalihuku as the deputy chairperson of the province, Comrade TK Niza as the provincial secretary, Comrade Tasnim Mutara as the deputy secretary, Comrade Mamrakane Masumpie as the deputy provincial secretary, provincial treasurer. This was a historic moment for the ANC in Gauteng, as the majority of the provincial. This historic moment for the ANC in Gauteng, as the majority provincial elected are women. This sends a clear message that the ANC believes in the capacity of leadership that is led by women. The outcome of the elections for the provincial office bearers confirms the depth of the understanding about the importance of unity amongst the ANC members in the province. The conference is conceived that we have capable leaders that will take the ANC to the people. We direct the officials of the ANC and the PC to be with the people in fighting social ills. The PEC must work with the communities to address the energy crisis, the high level of unemployment, and building society inclusive. Comrades, the conference agreed that we should focus on the task of dealing with poverty, unemployment, and inequality. As the state, both provincial and local level, we should find effective ways to work with all stakeholders who are critical for achieving our goals. We should initiate social compact that draws citizens, business and civic society, stakeholders, municipalities and public servants to work together to find effective and lasting solutions to the problems that are confronting our people. We should also work together with completion of incomplete programs and programs across the province, especially infrastructure-related programs, housing, health, libraries, sanitation, and economic infrastructure roads, and the work of the special economic zones. The African National Congress, as a disciplined force of the left, must capacitate to continue with leading the creation of the National Democratic Society. The ANC must be modernized as a progressive, non-racial, non-sexist, and democratic national liberation movement. The ANC must also be a political party to register and contest elections. Govern, when required, participate as an opposition with a task to build national democratic society. The African National Congress remains the best agent for the radical socio-economic transformation. To this end, the ANC must focus on developing the capacity for its structures to integrate organizational work, to integrate the organizational work, political work, and elections campaign. The organization must also undertake programs and focus on leading society rather than focusing only on internal organizational issues or elections. The ANC must deepen its relationship with the SACP, COSATU, and civic movements to improve the capacity and ability to managing socio-economic transformation with particular reference to the working class and the poor. It is our view that the story of our work is not adequately presented. South Africa in 2022 is not what it was in 1994. We have experienced challenges and setbacks, but we still have good stories to tell. Going forward, we resolved to talk to people of our province, wherever we find them. Whilst we will have one message, we call all our members to communicate the good work that we've been doing. Furthermore, we want to build the African National Congress that listens. We want to communicate our message, but we also want to be an organization that listens. That is why we are building and renewing the African National Congress. We want to create many avenues where we interact with our people. As this newly elected PEC, we will be consistent in engaging our communities. Every 2 months, the African National Congress public representatives will report on what they are doing for the people. On job retention and job retention will remain an era of focus for the ANC. Creating jobs, building small and medium businesses has to be a principal focus for the African National Congress moving forward. At the heart of these incentives, in the need to create a relationship between the state, labor, and capital, we will have to build a state that has an interest in how companies perform and the state that understands why there is no new investments. We will also have to find a common solution in investments limitations. We must also address challenges relating to access to finance. It is on this basis that the conference reaffirmed agent establishment of provincial bank and broader transformation of banking system. As part of addressing these challenges of access to finance by ordinary citizens in our province, the conference resolved to promote the establishment of cooperative bank. This is a task that is the incoming PEC should drive decisively. The conference endorses and supports the township economy. This act should be improved the economy and the welfare of our people in our township, particularly township economy. While seeking to attend all citizens of Gauteng, we must emphasize majority of our citizens of the province reside in our township. Any meaningful transformation must involve the improvement of our people in townships. The ANC, in the last 28 years, has done a lot to improve the quality of life for people of Gauteng. As the ANC were the first to acknowledge that much more work needs to be done. Gauteng is an epicenter of South African economy, and it continues to experience rapid urbanization and massive migration patterns. This presents challenges for the province. This is because the more we are making meaningful changes, the more people continue to come to Gauteng. This is the reality of our time. We agree, comrades, with that many people are saying the issue of illegal immigrants requires urgent attention. We are, as we emerge out of this conference, we are calling for greater sense of agency to ensure that the national government will move with speed in resolving the issues of border management. We must also know who comes to South Africa, and we must also know the contribution they are going to make in developing the growth of our country. We must also be ensured that the Township Development Act is implemented to support South African SMMEs and entrepreneurs. This must be coupled by a clear resolution on the employment of foreign nations in certain sectors of the economy. This migration problem is impacted on the delivery of quality of healthcare, education, life, education and housing, and other social amenities. In response to ongoing challenges caused by urbanization and migration, we declare war against poverty, hunger and inequality. We emerge out of this conference with a clear sense of agency and emergency to resolve these challenges. We will ensure that we continue to provide quality healthcare, education, produce and productive child for the future. This includes investing in the delivery of specialized education to produce skills for the future. This work includes ensuring that we deliver education in our mother tongue. Together with the education specialists, we will invest in developing of the mother tongue language. We will continue to transform the delivery of quality healthcare. This includes ensuring that 24-hour primary and community healthcare facilities. We equally believe that we must continue with the plan to advance the task of social transformation and mobilize all our sectors of society. As this conference, we are all calling for our members and progressive forces to social change that will work towards to resolve challenges that are faced by our people. The task of building a social inclusive society and call upon all declaration of Congress of our people in Cape Town in 1955. We must continue to build this country, to build a land who live in it, whether it's black or white. We will continue with youth sectoral society to build patriotism through sports and creative industry, and work with FBOs, NGOs to build a socially inclusive society. The ANC must lead citizens to involve public community affairs. We call on all progressive forces to deepen our democracy and ensure that citizens participate in state institutions such as school governing bodies. The conference has noted with strides made in fighting gender-based violence. However, we believe that a lot of work still needs to be done to protect women and most vulnerable in society. We will continue to strengthen institutions of state to ensure that gender-based violence is not only reduced, but it ends. We will continue to fight social ills in society whenever they are, but we will pay more attention to townships where crime and violence is increasingly becoming the norm. We believe we will fight this war We believe we will win this fight by increasing police visibility and building consciousness amongst our people. We will also ensure that we increase patrols and further train and equip the police through the green doors. The conference seriously reflected on pressing challenges confronting our people, and they have to come to define their daily lives and experience. These are urgent crises that requires the immediate solution. The first one, the ANC in Gauteng, we agree with the people that the energy crisis has reached unacceptable levels, that the current crisis must be resolved in the next 18 months. We require an emergent response as we responded to COVID-19 crisis. The African National Congress mandates the chairperson and the PC to emerge, to engage the president in finding the lasting solutions of the energy crisis. We are equally determined that there must be consequence management in a failure to resolve this issue of energy crisis. The second issue, which is an issue that this conference spoke to, is the immigration crisis. The third issue is the basic security in our communities. The fourth issue is the crisis of jobs and high level of unemployment, especially faced by the youth and the women. The fifth issue is the crisis of rising of cost of living, which is unacceptable. The conference resolved that all structures of the ANC must participate in legislative amendment being done specifically on the basic education laws amendment, which will be closed on the 15th of August 2022. The need to prioritize health services and vulnerable communities beyond addressing COVID-19, including addressing medical shortages, laboratories, shortfalls, and reducing waiting lists and time to access the surgery and the specialized care. We reaffirm our support for termination of pregnancy, Act 92 of 1996. We recognize our efforts of the ANC-led government in providing termination of pregnancy services through the state, even though we think the quality of these services can be improved. It is our view that the Department of Health must place greater focus in prevention of programs that will reduce the load of health system. Efforts must be placed on preventing through health promotion and education. On international relations, we note the conflict between Ukraine and Russia, which is a human tragedy that led to several negative effects on the world economy in areas such as energy, food, and other manufactured goods. We commend our government for adopting a non-partisan stance and calling for the resolution for the conflicts through dialogue and peaceful means. We note and commend the continuing diplomatic work done by the African National Congress-led government within the continent. Despite this, we need to pay attention to immigration regime that operates within our country. We reaffirm the point that we are for legal migrants for our country. However, those who enter our country illegally should be subjected to laws of the country relating to such activities. We should demand accountability from those responsible for important areas of work. The African continent has witnessed some level of regression in the establishment of state government and the advancement of democratic gains. We condemn the coup that has taken place in Western Africa. We also call for the establishment of Continental Standing Army that will reinforce the African Union program for the democratization of our continent and for the confront the temptation of soldiers who want to overthrow the legitimate legal government. Conference expresses concern on the apparent retrenching in the political agenda of lobbying the continent. In this regard, we believe our movement and government should distance itself from the acceptance of Morocco, as well as granting of observer status to Israel and the African Union. Conference reaffirmed the long-standing support for the fight of the people of West Sahara, the occupied and combative people of Palestine, and the revolutionary people of Cuba. As delegates, in conclusion, comrades, as delegates to the 14th Provincial Conference, we are aware of our challenges that are confronting us. We know that we have to re-earn the trust of our people. We are aware that mistakes have been made. Going forward, we commit ourselves in strengthening the bonds that link us with our people. We will continue with the progress of renewal of the African National Congress. Thank you. Thank you very much, Comrade Pule. We will continue to build the African National Congress that people want and love. We will build an ANC that is grounded in the day-to-day challenges of our people. We are aware of the challenges that are confronting us. We know that the people want jobs and economic security. We know that people want their ANC. Their ANC, the ANC of Krisane, the ANC of Shoslovo, the ANC of Sisulu, the ANC of Winima Mama Tigizela Mandela, the ANC of Herikwan, the ANC of Charlotte Macera, and many other heroes and heroines of the National Democratic Revolution. It is an humble, and it is an ANC that is humble. It is an ANC that has honor, an ANC that has got ethics. We are saying, we are rebuilding the African National Congress of the people. We will rebuild a trustworthy of African National Congress. We will leave this conference with confidence that we are stronger than before we arrived here. We will reflect on various challenges which our people face and challenges that we face as an organization. We are recharged ourselves and we will move as a unit. Long live the African National Congress, long live. Long live the African National Congress, long live. Long live ANC, long live. Long live Gauteng, long live. Uzolithola kanjani? Uhlele khoneni? Mandla. Thanks for coming.
These are pictures coming to us live from Boksburg in Kuruleni. We've just watched the speeches wrapping up the second take on the ANC's Gauteng conference. In picture there, newly elected Panyaza Lesufi, new leader in the ANC in Gauteng. We just heard the closing comments from TK Nisa, Timbenkosi Nisa, who is the ANC secretary, saying there in closing that the ANC in Gauteng is leaving the conference with confidence that they are stronger than when they arrived there. Those closing comments there from a conference that had to take 2 weekends to try and get to this point of newly elected leaders. We'll have more news and views after this.